OpenAI just released GPT-5 and it is the top model right now in all of the LLM leaderboard charts. So I'm on OpenAI's website introducing GPT-5. It is basically one model that you need for any purposes. So this model is one that you need for any purposes. So you no longer need to have multiple models that they used to have in the past. So you don't need 4.0, you don't need O3, you don't need none of that. You only have one model, GPT-5. So I have a plus plan with GPT, right? So that's $20, $30 per month. As you can see, in the past, I used to be able to select a different model, but no longer I get that option. It is gone completely. Like it is gone. And I've already tested this model and it has broke. Okay, so I kind of broke the GPT and I will show you where it failed and where it went wrong. And I will try to redo it again. And we're going to give different tasks. We're going to give different questions and we're going to go through that. So I personally have Claude as well. I personally have a paid plan with Claude. So I pay $100 per month. As you can see, a max plan with Claude. If I go to upgrade, as you can see, it is telling me to downgrade to Pro, and I am on the max plan, which starts from $100 a month. All right. So I have a paid plan with Claude, as well as I have a paid plan with Gemini as well. So I also use Gemini. As you can see, I have a Pro plan with Gemini as well. So we're going to test the same prompt with all three of them and see which one does better. So I'm excited to try this out. Also, looking at the leaderboard, GPT-5 is in top of all the leaderboards. So the one that I like to look is Vellum AI leaderboard. So when I go here, as you can see, best in reasoning is GPT-5 with 89.4. And then we have Grok at 87.5. Then we have Gemini at 86.4. Then we again have Grok 84.6. And then we have O3. So Claude is not even in this like range, right? So in terms of reasoning, GPT-5 is the best as of right now. As you can see on best in high school math, GPT-5 got 100. Okay, so far no one had gotten 100. This is crazy because GPT OSS 20B, 20 billion parameters, that got 98.7, whereas GPT OSS 120 billion parameter got 97.9, and the Grok got 93.3. So to see GPT-5 for the first time get 100 in high school math is insane, because that means it got everything right. Like it is insane, right? So what that means is that AI is just better. Like GPT-5 is just better than all high school people now. In the past, it was not as good as high school person, but now it is better than high school person. Just like, it is just gotten so much better. This is insane, right? So based in agentic coding, as of right now, Grok is like the best in agentic coding, but GPT-5 is like right there. Like Grok is 75, GPT-5 is 74.9, which is like right there, right? And then we have Claude Opus 4.1, which is 74.5. Many people like to use Claude. Personally, I like Gemini as well, but now we have Grok and GPT-5. So I have not used Grok for coding, but I have used Claude, and which is really good. So I'm excited to see how GPT-5 and Grok does, to be honest. And this one is very interesting. This one is best overall humanities last exam. So this is like PhD level question, and you have to be a PhD person to answer this. What I mean by that is that if you do not have PhD level education, you probably cannot answer these questions. And this is humanities last exam. Like if AI can pass this exam, AI is better than everybody. Like there is nobody smarter than AI anymore. And in the past, we had Grok at 25.4. So out of 50, it got 25.4. Gemini 21.6. O3 20.32. And people raved about O3, right? So that was the score for that. And then we have GPT OSS 120 billion at 14.9. But now with GPT-5, it is 42. And this is the highest. As you can see the difference. The first one, GPT-5 is 42 and the Grok is 25.4. The difference is mesmerizing how talented and how smart GPT-5 is. Because basically now AI can do all the research. AI is as talented as the PhD level people, right? So you don't even need to do PhD anymore. I guess you do need to do PhD, but you could ask an AI and give you the answers, and it is going to be as accurate as someone who has done PhD on that field. Okay, so if you're talking about math, it could give you answer that is as accurate as someone who has done PhD in that field, which is insane and mind-blowing. Like, that is just wild. Also, the surprising part is like it is very affordable as well. Like, when I go here, let's compare GPT-5. Let's compare GPT-5 with the popular model as of right now is Claude 4.1 Opus. So looking at the price, like input output cost, GPT-5 is definitely cheaper. As you can see, input $1.25, output $10, and input $15 for Claude and output $75. So it is way cheaper and it is better as well, like in every way. Even with coding, many people like to use Claude for coding. GPT-5 is better in coding as well, and it is better in every ways. Okay, what I also like is that the cutoff date is also the same. The context size window is actually bigger. So I will say GPT-5 destroyed Claude. To be honest, they kind of like, hey, we are the top dog. Like, we are the dog. Like, you know, we are the guys. Like, you are just imitation. Like, you are nobody, right? With GPT-5, that's what it seems like, because GPT-5 is so much ahead and it has so much better cost. Like check this out. Like, the max output is 228,000 token, whereas it is only 32,000 token. You're paying more for what? Like, I don't understand. Like, why are you paying more for what, right? So like I said, I use Claude right now. I pay $100 a month, and I am now like thinking like, why do I need to pay $100 a month? Because if I can do the same thing, and I have the paid plan, I have the $20 per month plan with ChatGPT, like, and I have access to this model, like, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to show you how to use it, and we're going to test this, but I don't need Claude anymore, right? But again, Claude is better at some things and ChatGPT is better at something. So we're going to test it. We're going to ask different questions. All right. So that is quite fascinating. Let's compare that with Gemini as well. Let's see, Gemini 2.5 Pro. So looking at Gemini 2.5 Pro, the context size is way bigger. So that is fantastic, right? And it is about the same price, which is great. And the max output token is actually slightly less. So that's okay, that's fine. But if you were to compare other benchmark, right, you have GPQA Diamond test that, you know, GPT-5 is doing so much better on that. AMI 2024, GPT-5 is ahead on that. SWE bench, GPT-5 is ahead. Elder Polyglot, GPT-5 is ahead. So in every benchmark, GPT-5 is ahead compared to Gemini 2.5 Pro, but you're paying the same amount. What, like for context size window? Now, don't get me wrong, context size window does matter, but it doesn't matter for a lot of people. This is more so for developers, right? If you're using Gemini 2.5 Pro in the backend to help you write the code and different things like that, right? But just for a normal person, like, GPT-5 is the way to go, right? This is insane, right? This is insane what we have seen. So as you can see on the leaderboard, we have GPT-5 on the top, then we have Grok 4, then we have 2.5 Pro, and Grok 3, OpenAI O3, then we have Claude finally, and then other models of OpenAI and Claude and other models, right? So as soon as GPT-5 came out, it is the #1 in any leaderboard. Like, you can go to a different leaderboard. So let's go to LLM leaderboard from Hugging Face. This leaderboard has GPT-5 in the top, which is interesting. Then we have 2.5 Pro, then we have O3, 4.0, okay, Grok, interesting. So in terms of vision as well, GPT-5 is in the top. Text to image, looks like some model from Google is in the top. GPT 4.1, I'm guessing that is. So web dev, so this is for coding. GPT-5 is in the top, so that's interesting. Okay, editing image, GPT 4.1 looks like is the best. Search, O3 is the best, but O3 is now combined into GPT-5, so you can say that GPT-5 is probably the top as well. So that's interesting. So in terms of Copilot, Claude 3.5 Sonnet is in the top, which is interesting because Claude 4.1 is so much better, to be honest. Okay, yeah, looking at the leaderboard, GPT-5 is like #1 at the moment. So very fascinating. Like, you look any leaderboard, you'll find that GPT-5 is now in the rank #1 for anything and everything. So let's go to GPT-5 and let's try some prompt. Let's see what happens. So I want to start with how many A are in this word. Okay, let's see what it says. So apple as a rock. So there is only 3 A's. Okay, so it got it right. So that's interesting. sometimes the model get it wrong. They don't know how to count the word as much, to be honest. They don't know how to count the letter as much. So they're thinking, interesting. Okay. Wow. Claude is going all out. Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay. So let's start a new chat and ask a different question, which is, so we're going to start with just a normal question about just tell me a joke. Tell me a joke. Let's say about coding. All right. Just simple prompt. All right. So we're going to do that. All right. So we're going to do the same. Let's start a new chat here as well. Let's do that. Let's start a new chat here. We're using 4.1, so I'm going to use the 2.5 Pro as well. So let's see. Debugging is like being the detective in a crime movie where you're also the murderer. Want a nerdier one? I don't think I got it, to be honest. Now, the good question to ask is actually, I don't like the joke, to be honest, in a crime movie where you're also the murderer. Interesting. Yeah, when you're debugging a code, right, you're fixing things, but you're also breaking things. So that's interesting, right? I'm just going to say, tell me another joke. Okay, of course, why do programmers prefer dark mode? Because light attracts bugs. Okay, this one's funny. Okay, this one. Now, a good question to ask is, tell me why this joke is funny. Okay, I do like Gemini's joke better, to be honest. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this on the side. So here's a coding joke for you. Why do programmers? Oh, it's the same joke. Interesting. Oh, but Claude has a bonus one for me. So Claude and Gemini came up with the same joke. Interesting. A QA engineer walks into a bar, orders 1 beer, orders 0 beers, orders 999 beers, orders 1 beers, orders lizard, orders null beers, orders beers. First real customer walks in and asks where the bathroom is. The bar bursts into flames, killing everyone. I don't understand the bonus joke, by the way, but this structure that you see here walks into a bar. XYZ walks into a bar is a common structure for a joke, to be honest. So it is using a common theme, which is interesting. So now it is explaining me, Gemini is explaining me why this joke is funny. So in the real world, light source like a lamp or bright screen are known to attract insects, which we commonly blocks game. Okay, bug, the joke works by setting up scenario. Okay, got it. It does pretty good job. Okay, sometimes they cannot explain why the joke is funny, to be honest. So I don't like a bonus joke, but it's interesting that Claude and Gemini came up with the same joke. So GPT-5, I would tell you a joke about recursion, but first I would have to tell you a joke about recursion. Interesting. I don't understand. Maybe my English is not sophisticated enough. I don't like it, to be honest. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, so let me ask a question. Tell me why this joke is funny. Let's see how it does. Because it's self-referential in the exact way recursion works. In the programming, a recursive function calls herself. Okay, so it is like too complicated, to be honest. Like, yes, I am a programmer, but I don't code as much. And it is like too nerdy, to be honest. Okay, I'm going to ask a different question now. Sally had 2 brothers, etc., etc. How many siblings does Sally have? Let's see. So how many siblings does Sally have? Probably 2 if the full line is Sally had 2 brothers and each brother had a sister. In that version, the sister is Sally herself, so her only siblings are the 2 brothers. Interesting. It is telling me to drop the exact riddle. So I'm going to ask this question once again, which is Sally has 3 brothers. Each brother has 2 sisters. Let's see. Each brother's 2 sisters are Sally. Sally plus 1 other girl. So Sally has 1 sister and 3 brothers. Okay, so 1 is actually correct answer. So let's see how Claude does it. Let's see Gemini do it. Wow, Claude is going all out on this. Okay, looking at this, GPT likes to give direct answer and Claude likes to explain a little bit more. And Gemini is kind of in the middle, as you can see. Let's ask a different question, which is, I am making a job post for a designer. Design me a image. So GPT is pretty good at designing an image. So let's ask the same question to Claude. I don't think Claude is going to do the best. Google has a different model called VEO3, and they do so much better with that. But I don't think Gemini is going to design any images. I think it may be, I don't know how it does, to be honest. Claude is writing the whole code. That is interesting. Now, the key to asking this question is that we're going to ask for an image, and then we're going to ask it to create a completely new image. All right. And we will see how good it does. So Gemini is first. Let's do this. Create me completely new version of this image. Have a person in the image. It needs to be thumb stopping so that it makes people read the post. We will post this image in the Facebook post. Okay, so I'm going to say this. Looking at the image, I will say ChatGPT did way better than Gemini, to be honest. Like, this is way too messy. But now I'm going to ask the same prompt here, and Claude is way better at coding. So as you can see, it built me a whole website. I was not asking for a website. Claude, this is not what I was asking for. So as you can see, like, Claude is like kind of built for coding. That's why it does so much better job with coding, is that they kind of have their model tuned more for coding. So it kind of thinks in more coding language, which is great, but also not great at the same time. So if you're using for coding, then Claude is fantastic, right? That is native language. So it is writing the code once again. Let's see how Gemini is doing. Okay, so Gemini got me a new version. I did not tell it to have a real person. Okay, I told it to have a person in the image. It could have been anime person, cartoon character, it could be anything. I don't know how this image is popping, to be honest, but I think it looks fine. For a designer, this is definitely way better than the first version. So I think Gemini is doing better. It's improving a lot. So Claude is still working on it. GPT-5 is still working on it. So let's see what happens. Wow, it's taking a lot of time, actually. In the meantime, I'm going to ask a question to Gemini. Give me another version with a different person. It can be cartoons, anime, whatever. Doesn't have to be real person, but needs to be eye-catching image. Okay, so I'm going to say this. Oh wow, Gemini went all out. It did create me an image this time, but this is not an image. Like, is this really an image? I don't know. Let me do save as, and it is saving as a web page. Interesting. Okay, something weird happened. Looks like my prompt is still here and nothing happened, I guess. Yeah, I think Claude just had a bug, as you can see on my screen. I did send this prompt earlier. It did work on it, and when I tried to save it, it just went like there is no prompt anymore. So that's interesting to see. So Claude, you need, and it is loading. This one's loading, as you can see, for some reason. Okay, now Gemini came up with a super bad image, to be honest. I don't like this image at all. So I'm going to ask the same prompt, but just like create a different person kind of thing. I do like ChatGPT image much better, to be honest, compared to Gemini. So for the second round, I would say Gemini won than ChatGPT, but for the third round, Gemini is not the best. Let's see. Gemini definitely works faster. This is interesting. If you're working on images, Gemini definitely does work faster, but I think it is more hit and miss. Like, you may get a really good image, but you may also not get a good image. Let's ask, I want in 2D. Thanks. And I'll copy this. Claude is working hard. It is writing the whole code. I don't know what it is doing, to be honest, but we'll see. So Gemini already has another image as well. So it got me another 2D image. I want in 3D. Another variation. So Gemini is like super fast. As you can see, we're already so much ahead, and Claude is writing the code. It is doing this fancy thing, but it is interesting. So this is what Claude is doing. Interesting. I don't know what to do with this because I was looking for an image that I can download, but this is not an image. This is a code. So I don't know how it's going to work, to be honest. So I'm actually going to say no to Claude at the moment. So it did create me some 3D images. That's good. So now we have cartoon here. I honestly like ChatGPT better, to be honest, because of how consistent it is. Interesting. So earlier when I said I broke ChatGPT, I will show you something that I was working on. Okay. So here, as you can see, I made a job post and I asked for it to create images. And I said it needs to be catchy, but it didn't change anything. It just changes, it just like did the same thing and just created the same image. And then I said, do a new design, do not edit the same design. Because I was like, hey, this kind of looks the same thing. But again, looks the same. Like he just 2D images with cartoons. Like it's kind of like frustrated, right? So, and then can that person have a realistic person? So it did add a realistic person. So that was good. And then I said, remove multiple funnel signs because there were multiple icons here. So I said, remove multiple funnel signs. So it added one, do a crazy person. I thought it was going to do more like a cartoon kind of thing, but it did this. So I guess it is good. And then I said, remove real looking person and do something else. I wanted it to do something completely different. And then it just went back to the same thing, like the one that we had in the top. So I was like, why is it going back to the same thing? So I said, do different eyes and a guy with a computer. And this is what it did. So I just got frustrated and this is the image that I used. So that was interesting to see that it was kind of just like fixated upon same design. It was trying to use the same design again and again, which is fascinating. I don't know why it is using the same thing again and again, to be honest. So Gemini is more hit and miss, but it does do a pretty good job. I think you can use it. So that's it. That's the GPT-5. You know, that's the new model. It is fascinating. It is interesting. It can do so much more. So I'm hoping a lot of you are going to use it. I like it. I don't think I'm going to cancel Claude at the moment, to be honest, because I don't like GPT-5 as of what it is right now. It sounds great, but it has not impressed me when I test with my own prompt, right? So yeah, let's see. Let's keep using it. I have all 3 access, so we will see what happens. All right. So if you enjoy this video, I make more videos like this. So watch my next video. All right. Take care.